This dedication ceremony is designed to thank everyone involved in the creation of the new school. This December will mark the 10th anniversary of the John R. Briggs building committee. So it took us 10 years to get to this point, but it was well worth the wait. As each phase of this process was completed, the needs of the students was always the primary focus. When we had surveys done 10 years ago of the staff to identify what we needed in the school, what we thought would benefit the students, the selection of furniture to make sure it meets the way students are learning now, and to the technology. Students were always our primary focus, and the result is a school that is definitely kid-friendly and a place where kids can be successful, and we're very fortunate for that.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Briggs' legacy and life were such exemplary caliber, this new building could have only one name, John R. Briggs Elementary School. Let us remember the man for whom our school is named.
John Herbert Briggs was born in England on September 1887. He moved to this country at the age of 5, the oldest boy in a family of 8, 2 brothers and 5 sisters. Born to a close-knit family who loved music, working in their garden, and enjoying the simple pleasures of life, Briggs schooled Pittsburgh before dropping out at the age of 17. He took a job in Pittsburgh factory where he became a skilled master craftsman making fine tools. Later, he spent time in Buffalo, New York, where he met and married his wife, Ella. They eventually ended up returning to the area and living in the modest red shingle home on gingerbread in Nashville. It may surprise you to hear Mr. Briggs is not from Nashville originally. In fact, he did not come until 1910. He planned on spending a few months in a foot injury, but stayed for his rest of his life. While convalescing in town, he offered to serve a temporary replacement for a hockey schooner, a volunteer athletic director of the Bay State Boys Club, who was leaving on his own.
According to town lore, Briggs asked Schooner what the job paid. "I'm doing it because I believe in it," said Schooner, to which Briggs replied, "Then I'll take it for the same salary." The Boys Club eventually evolved into Boy Scout Troop 18, and Mr. Briggs went on to serve as the town scoutmaster for nearly 60 years. As scoutmaster for Troop 18, his guiding hand led 90 boys in the town to achieve the rank of Eagle Scout. When the Boy Scout Reservation Camp Split Rock was being created, Mr. Briggs was in the forefront. He labored there every weekend until the camp was finished, taking on the lead as well as supervising many others in its completion. Through his expertise in such projects as taxidermy, conservation, physical fitness, first aid, and aquatics, he was always extolling the virtues of nature and an appreciation of the outdoors to the youngsters of the community.
Mr. Briggs supervised projects through the WPA and community donations to dam up the brook which flowed through his land, creating the town's first swimming area, which eventually grew into Rustingham Pool. At this site, he developed a swimming program, teaching nearly 3 generations to swim. John R. Briggs learned a lot about first aid from his mother, Margaret, a nurse in Glasgow, Scotland Hospital. Mr. Briggs was instrumental in teaching life-saving methods through scouting. There is no doubt many lives were saved through his teaching methods. In one winter, Mr. Briggs managed to save the lives of 2 different distressed individuals on his own property. One day, a 7-year-old boy was walking on the snowy crest of the pond and slipped into the water, only to be saved by the alert Mr. Briggs, then in his 70s. Less than a week later, a young man skiing down a slope near the pond onto the ice-covered water broke through the ice and struggled more than 15 minutes. Mr. Briggs heard the cries for help from his home, dove into the ice
is also an accomplished athlete in his own right. In his younger years, he was an accomplished runner, boxer, swimmer, and an expert marksman, winning a Massachusetts state championship in 1970. Using his athletic background, he schooled many members of his trip in such sports as swimming, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and boxing, where it's noted he wore out at least 8 pairs of boxing gloves, as well as the linoleum on his kitchen floor. While he championed many causes for the youth of the town, John R. Briggs also assisted the scores of immigrants, especially Finnish, naturalization requirements. He was a member of the Effingham Board of Selectmen from 1934 to 1955. And then, well into his late 70s, stayed active as the chairman of the town's Parks and Recreation Committee. With all that John R. Briggs had done for the town of Effingham, it was no wonder that the building committee for the original school on the site chose to name the building after Mr. Briggs. When the school was dedicated in his honor many years ago on April 21st, 1968, the program noted, "No man touched the lives of more local youngsters directly or indirectly than John R. Briggs, who summed it all up by adding his own words, 'It's my way of going to church.'"
John and Ella Briggs lived out their years on Gingerbread Lane, where they brought up 3 sons, Shannon, Richard. Richard, and John R. Jr., and 3 daughters, Beryl, Margaret, and Dora. John R. Briggs died at the age of 90 on Easter Sunday, March 26, 1978. At that time, Michael G. Maroney, then the chairman of the town's Board of Selectmen, recalled him. John always greeted you with a smile and always did all he could to do to help anyone who was down. He did the greatest bit of good for the greatest number he did. He saw only the good in people who he hated contact. As we consider the man for whom this building is named, let us strive to his ideals of service. Let us see the good in people, and let us seek to do the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Thank you, John R. Briggs, and may this new school serve Ashford and proudly for generations to come.
I certainly want to mention the contribution that was made by Dr. Mike Candace, our former superintendent, who we lost just in the past year. When Mike came aboard in 2003, he recognized this building as a priority, and we'll hear more about that in a little bit, but I certainly wanted to make sure that we mentioned Mike. He was a driving force behind this. Our gratitude also goes out to the entire Briggs School staff, teachers, administrators, office staff, custodial staff, extended day and cafeteria staff. They worked days and nights for many weeks and months this past summer, getting moved out of the old building and into the new, to make sure that everything was set for the students when they arrived on September 3rd. And I was here that morning, and I can tell you things went about as flawlessly as they possibly could.
We like your new school. Great! I can't hear you. I can hear you. I clearly do want to also express the gratitude of the Briggs family and happy reunion to you and your father, your grandfather. He proved that one person can make a difference. And our role, as these young people said, is that every person should try. Thank you for who he was and what he meant to this community. And what I have learned from helping to build 25 schools in my career, is that the students come to these new school buildings re-energized, but so do the teachers. And to pay homage to those people we trust, the most precious entity in our world. Because there's nothing more precious than our children, to these teachers. And we know, through the terrible history of this nation, some of these teachers put their life on the line for them. and we respect you for so much of what you do for our most precious entity, our kids. Thank you, teachers and faculty.
Else and envious that I'm not here. But here. It is an honor for the John R. Briggs Building Committee and the Town of Ashland, present and future elementary students, to thank Dr. Michael Sapantis for all he did for our academic and public community. For many years, Dr. Sapantis worked tirelessly to ensure that this building would be constructed to meet the needs of our students in the town for many years to come. Dr. Sapantis would be proud of this beautiful building, as it captures all that Mike held dear to his heart. It is a state-of-the-art learning environment that encourages student learning, is welcoming to the community, and highlights the hard work of those involved in the building project.
And so we welcome his family, his wife Diane, his sister Tony, his niece Heidi, and family and friends. And at this time, we would like to publicly recognize and remember Dr. Michael Sapantis for his perseverance and his commitment to the Ashland-Hamilton Regional School District. His advocacy for this 21st century learning environment will foster the high standards of achievement we wish for all of our students. It is with extreme pride, gratitude, and appreciation that we present this plaque, which is actually hanging up already, to be displayed in the lobby of the new John R. Briggs Elementary School as a remembrance and a thank you for all he did to get us this beautiful new school. Thank you.